Complex numbers and quadratic equations. In this video, I am going to cover about complex numbers, concept of complex numbers. In number system, basically it is divided in two parts, real number and complex number. Up to class 10th, you have covered about real numbers. Now we have to learn complex numbers. Introduction part. If any quadratic equation is given, for example, x square plus 1 equal to 0, and ask find the value of x. So easily any student can say that there is no real value of x for which x square plus 1 equal to 0, because x square equal to minus 1. X square equal to minus 1 means you have to find the value of x whose square is minus 1, and it is not possible to find any real number whose square is minus 1. Earlier Indian mathematician Mahavir also written in his book, name of his book Ganit Saar Sangrah, that a negative quantity is not a square of quantity. It has therefore no square root. If any negative quantity given, it is not a square quantity. Square quantity means always a positive quantity. Later on, another mathematician Bhaskar also written in his book Algebra, there is no square root of negative quantity. Means if a negative number given, we cannot find its square root. Here they have given this statement in reference of real numbers. Means there is no real number for which we can find square root if it is given as negative. Then Euler, the first mathematician who used the symbol I for under root minus 1 and given the concept of imaginary number, means not a real number. First time he has written in place of minus 1 with under root as I, and if I is under root minus 1 means I square equal to minus 1, where I is called iota, which is imaginary unit. In this situation, the solution of quadratic equation x square plus 1 equal to 0 we can write as x square equal to minus 1 or x equal to plus minus under root minus 1, and for under root minus 1 symbol is taken as I, therefore we can write as plus minus I. It implies there are two values of x, I and minus I, for which x square equal to 1. But remember, there is no real value of x for which x square equal to minus 1. Here you are getting the value of x as I and minus I. These numbers are known as imaginary numbers. These are not a real numbers. Now using or with the help of I, we can write square root of any negative number. For example, under root minus 4. Under root minus 4 we can write as root 4 into root minus 1. And root minus 1 means I. You take a symbol I means the square root of 4 is 2. That is equal to 2i. Under root 21 written. So root 21 into under root minus 1 equal to root 21i. In this pattern, first time Euler used the concept of I and complex numbers. Introduce. Then for different powers of I, we have to find the values. Since as per definition of I given by Euler, I equal to under root minus 1. Then I square easily you can write as minus 1. I cube means I square into I, and value of I square is minus 1. Minus 1 into I minus I. Then I power 4, I square into I square equal to value of I square is minus 1 into minus 1, 1. In this pattern, starting from I to I power 4, calculated I means under root minus 1, I square minus 1, I cube minus I power 4, 1. After that, I power 5, what happened? I power 4 into I, and value of I power 4 is 1. 1 into I equal to I. It implies I power 5 is same as I. Then I power 6. I power 6 we can write as I power 4 into I power 2 and equal to minus 1. It implies I power 6 as I square. Similarly, I power 7 if you solve, it is same as I cube is minus I. I power 8 equal to I power 4 into I power 4 equal to 1. It implies if anyone asks find the value of I power 9, I power 9 means again start equal to I. It implies I power 4k if written. We can write I power 4k as I power 4 into our whole power as k. I power 4k means I power 4 whole power k, and value of I power 4 is 1. So 1 power k equal to 1. Because on 1 if any power is given, its value is always 1. It implies if I power whatever integer written, it is in the form of 4k or multiple of 4, then its value is 1. If power of I is in the form of 4k plus 1, then I power 4k into I power 1 equal to 1 into I equal to I. I power 4k plus 2 form given, then you will get minus 1, and I power 4k plus 3, then minus I. Because if any number divided by 4, possible remainders will be 0, 1, 2, 3, and after that 4, again multiple of 4 you will get. It implies if any number written in terms of I or I power any integer given, so you can write it in the form of I power 4k into I power r, and value of I power 4k is 1 into I power r equal to I power r, and values of r 0, 1, 2 or 3. With the help of this, easily we can find. If I ask what is the value of I power 10, I power 10 just simple, oral you can calculate. I power 10 divided by 4. 4 to the 8. Remainder is 2. I power 10 is same as I square, and value of I square is minus 1. I power 15. I power 15 means use table of 4. 4 3 is 12 plus 3. Remainder is 3. I power 15 means I power 4 into 3 plus 3 means remainder 3, and remainder 3 means I power 3 minus I power 16, 4 4 just 16. Power of I is multiple of 4, it is equal to 1. If power of I is multiples of 4, then its value is 1. If it is not a multiple of 4, then remainder you will get. Possible values of remainder 0, 1, 2, 3. If multiples of 4, remainder is 0. If remainder is 1, value I. Remainder 2, minus 1. Remainder 3, minus I. And after that, again 1. Next, if power of I is given as negative, then process to calculate. Since we have covered I power 4k plus r equal to I power 4k into y power r, and value of I power 4k is 1 into y power r equal to y power r. Just one or two more example I want to take. I power 22. If here written I power 22, so just we can write 4 5 is 20 plus 2. The remainder is 2. So we can write I power 4 into 5 into I power 2 equal to I power 2, and value of I power 2 is minus 1. If I power 23 written, 4 5 is 20, remainder is 3. means I3 and value of I3 is minus I. In this pattern you can calculate. If value of I is power given as negative sign means minus n, for example I power minus 4, I power minus 5, I power minus 10, we can write this as 1 upon I power n, and again in denominator apply the concept same as first line written ki I power 4k plus r, and you will get result. Some common results I want to cover here. If I power minus 1 written, I power minus 1 we can write as 1 upon I power 1. And 1 upon I power 1 if multiply and divide numerator and denominator by I, multiply numerator and denominator by I, you will get I upon I square, and value of I square is minus 1. I upon minus 1 equal to minus I. I power minus 1 after solving we are getting as minus I. I power minus 2, 1 upon I square equal to 1 upon minus 1 equal to minus 1. I power minus 3, 1 upon I power 3. Again multiply numerator and denominator by I, you will get I upon I power 4. And value of I power 4 is 1. So therefore I upon 1 equal to I. Similarly I power minus 4 equal to 1 upon I power 4 equal to 1 upon 1 equal to 1. In this pattern, if I power minus n written, you can write this as 1 upon I power n, and then write n as 4k plus r equal to 1 upon I power 4k into I power r. Value of I power 4k is 1. You will get 1 upon I power r. Here values of r is 0, 1, 2, 3. And after that you can calculate. In this pattern, if integral power of I given, integral power of I means integer. Power of I will be positive integer, negative integer or 0. You can calculate the value of I power. For example, the power of I given as 101, positive number. 101 we can write as 4 into 25 plus 1 equal to I power 4 into 25 into I power 1 equal to 1 into I equal to I. Because I power 4 into 25 written, I power 4 is 1, or I power any multiple of 4 is written, this value will be same pattern. Second example, I power minus 4 to 7 given. We can write as I 1 upon I power 4 to 7, which we can write as I power 4 into 106 plus 3, which is equal to 1 upon I power 4 into 106, this value is 1 into I cube, and 1 upon I cube we can write as I upon I power, and value of I power 4 is 1, therefore its value is I. In this pattern, if any power of I given, it will be positive or negative, you can write in the form of 4k plus r, and after that calculate the value. One more result which you should remember, that is very important. If two numbers and b given, then root a into root b equal to root ab. All of you know. Just think. It is applicable for all real numbers. It is true only if at least one of a and b is positive or 0. It implies a and b both positive, then you can apply this result. If any one of b is positive, apply this. If any one of these 0, okay, apply this. But if both are negative, then it is not applicable, or this result is not true. Or you can say root a into root b equal to root ab is not true if a and b both are negative. For example, if under root minus 4 into under root minus 9 given, we can write this as under root minus 4 into minus 9. If you apply this identity, and you will get under root 36 equal to 6, which is not equal or which is false. Correct solution is under root minus 4 into under root minus 9. We can write as under root minus 4 means 2 into I into 3I equal to 6I square equal to 6 into minus 1 equal to minus 6, and which is true. Therefore, you can apply this result if any one of A and B are positive or both positive or 0. Now, definition of complex number. If any number written in the form of A plus IB, then it is known as complex number, where A and B are real numbers. That is, A plus IB is a complex number, and A is known as the real part of this complex number Z, and we can write real part in short form as RE in bracket Z. RE represents real part of complex number Z. It is symbolic form. And B is known as imaginary part, and in symbolic form we can write as IM in bracket Z. IM Z10, it implies you to write imaginary part of Z, and here it is real part of Z. For example, if Z equal to 2 minus 3 I written, then real part of Z is 2 and imaginary part of Z, that is coefficient of I, is minus 3. If Z equal to 7 given, if Z equal to 7 written, it implies imaginary part of this complex number is 0. Only real part exists. Therefore, Z equal to 7 we can write as Z equal to 7 plus I into 0. That is known as purely real number. And if Z equal to 3I written, it implies if Z equal to 3I written, it implies real part is 0. Some operations on complex number. If two complex number given, Z1 equal to A plus IB and Z2 equal to X plus IY, then we can define the following operations. Two complex numbers are equal if their real parts are equal and imaginary parts are also equal. Means Z1 equal to Z2 if and only if A equal to X and B equal to Y. Means real parts of Z1 equal to real part of Z2 and imaginary part of Z1 equal to imaginary part of Z2. Addition of two complex numbers, Z1 plus Z2. The first complex number given as A plus IB, second is X plus IY, and we have to add two complex numbers. Add their real part A plus X plus I and B plus Y. That is new complex number. Subtraction of two complex number, same process. If we want to subtract their real parts A minus X plus I into subtract their imaginary part means B minus Y. So these three operations on complex number, equality of, addition, subtraction. Now next, multiplication. If two complex number given, we have to multiply Z1 into Z2, A plus IB into X plus IY. Just open the bracket. We can write A into X plus IB into IY means I square BY plus IBX means IB into X plus IAY. value of I square is -1. Therefore, write down ax minus by plus I common bx plus ay. It implies in z1 into z2, the real part is ax minus by and imaginary part bx plus ay. Now division of complex number z1 upon z2, a plus ib upon x plus iy. Whenever you want to divide one complex number by other complex number, just multiply by x minus iy in numerator and denominator. X minus iy known as conjugate. In this topic I will cover it. Then in numerator you will get, just open the bracket, ax minus I square by minus ibx minus iay upon, here apply identity, a plus b into a minus b is a square minus b square, means x square minus I square y square. In numerator, value of I square is -1, means ax plus by minus I into bx plus ay upon x square plus y square. And fourth, if any complex number given, we have to find the reciprocal. 1 upon z is known as reciprocal of z, and 1 upon z you can calculate as 1 upon x plus iy multiplied by x minus iy in numerator and denominator. Denominator you will get x square plus y square, numerator x minus iy. In this pattern we can write reciprocal of any complex number. Then some properties of addition of complex number. First property for commutative law. If any two complex numbers z1 z2 given, then z1 plus z2 is same as z2 plus z1. z1 plus z2 written here. Then combine the real part means a plus x plus I b plus y, and a plus x is same as x plus a for real numbers, plus I y plus b. Write separately and you are getting z2 plus z1. Or also second option you have, just calculate z1 plus z2, then z2 plus z1, and after that you can observe both are same. With the help of any example also you can verify this result. Associative law. With three complex number a plus ib, x plus iy, and p plus iq given, then associative law means z1 plus z2 plus z3 equal to z1 plus z2 plus z3. Means first you add z1 plus z2, then z3, or first you find out z2 plus z3, then adding z1. Result will be same. Or additive identity, very important part. For example, in case of integers, if anyone asks to find out additive identity for integers, so 0 is known as additive identity. Additive identity means you apply the operation with integers, result remains same. For example, if 5 plus 0 equal to 5, there is no change in the number, result remains same. Minus 4 plus 0, minus 4. Same pattern in complex number. 0 plus I0 is a complex number. If we add in any complex number, this 0 plus I0, that value of complex number remains same. Z plus I plus 0 equal to, simplify you will get Z. Therefore, 0 plus I into 0 is known as additive identity for complex numbers. And additive inverse, if any complex number z given, then minus z multiplied by minus I minus x plus I into minus y is known as additive inverse of z. Because if you write z plus minus z, you will get additive identity, means 0 plus I into 0. Therefore, minus z is known as additive inverse. Then, for multiplication of complex number, commutative law. If you find out Z1 into Z2, and also if you calculate Z2 into Z1, in both cases you will get same result. Means Z1 into Z2 equal to Z2 into Z1. Same for associative law. Z1 into Z2 into Z3, it implies first you find out Z1 into Z2. Whatever number you are getting, multiply by Z3. Result remains same if you multiply Z1 with Z2 and Z3. Multiplicative identity 1 plus I into 0 is known as multiplicative identity, because if you multiply any complex number by 1 plus I0, complex number remains unchanged. That is, Z into 1 plus I0 equal to X plus IY into 1 plus I0 multiplied, and after solving we are getting same complex number. There is no change. Therefore, 1 plus I into 0 is known as multiplicative identity. The next, multiplicative inverse. If any complex number Z is given as X plus IY, then Z inverse or 1 upon Z is known as multiplicative inverse, such that Z into Z inverse equal to 1. Or in other words, you can see if any complex number given, then the other complex number if you multiply both and result is you are getting as a multiplicative identity, then second complex number is known as multiplicative inverse. And symbol multiplicative inverse is Z inverse, we can write as 1 upon Z. With Z inverse equal to 1 upon Z, and since value of Z is X plus IY, 1 upon X plus IY equal to 1 upon X plus IY into X minus Y, IY upon X minus IY. Just multiply, simplify, you will get this result. Means X upon X square plus Y square minus I Y upon X square plus Y square. That is multiplicative inverse. Next, distributive law. If three complex number given, Z1, Z2, Z3, then multiplication is distributive over addition. Like if in algebra you know A into B plus C equal to AB plus C, same pattern here. Z1 into Z2 plus Z3 equal to Z1, Z2 plus Z1, Z3. Or if you write Z1 is right side, means Z1, Z2 plus Z3 into Z1. Again same process, open the bracket, Z2 into Z1 plus Z3 into Z1. That is distributive law. Next, modulus of complex number. Modulus of complex number Z is denoted by mod of Z and defined as a non-negative number under root A square plus B square, where A is real part of complex number and B is known as imaginary part of complex number. That is mod of Z equal to under root A square plus B square. Or squaring both sides, we can write mod of Z square equal to A square plus B square. If any complex number, for example, given Z equal to 3 plus 4i, then mod of Z equal to under root 3 square plus 4 square equal to under root 9 plus 16 equal to under root 25, which is equal to 5. You will not take plus minus, just take a non-negative number, means positive number you will consider. Some properties. If two complex number given, mod of product of complex number is same as mod of first complex number into mod of second complex number. Or for division also, if two complex number is in division form, so Z1 upon Z2 whole modulus is same as mod of Z1 upon mod of Z2. For addition of two complex number, if mod of z1 plus z2 written, it is always equal to less than or equal to mod of z1 plus mod of z2. And mod of z1 minus z2 always equal to mod of z1 minus mod of z2. Next, conjugate of a complex number. If a plus ib is a complex number given, then the complex number a minus ib is known as conjugate of a plus ib, denoted by z bar. If z equal to a plus ib written, then z bar equal to a minus ib. And also remember, if we write z equal to 2 plus 3i, z bar 2 minus 3i. And if z equal to 2 minus 3i, then z bar equal to 2 plus 3i, means you have to change the sign here. And modulus mod of z equal to under root a square plus b square, and mod of z bar equal to also under root a square plus minus b square, result remains same, equal to mod of z. It implies mod of z is same as mod of z bar. Some properties: z plus z bar, add complex number and its conjugate, we will get 2a or 2 times of real part of z. Z minus z bar, subtract, we will get 2 times of imaginary part of z. And product z into z bar, just multiply, you will get a square plus b square, which is mod of z square or mod of z bar square. Then some results on conjugate of complex number. If z1, z2, two complex numbers are given, the first result we can write z1 plus z2 whole conjugate equal to z1 conjugate plus z2 conjugate. Proof I written here. So z1 plus z2 whole bar equal to a plus ib plus x plus iy equal to a plus x plus ib plus y, and conjugate then you can write a plus x minus I b plus y, a minus ib plus x minus iy equal to z1 bar plus z2 bar. Now second result, z1 minus z2 whole bar equal to z1 bar minus z2 bar. Same pattern, you can verify the result, or with the help of examples also you can check and verify. Third result, z1 into z2 whole bar, also we can write as z1 bar into z2 bar. And fourth, z1 upon z2 whole bar equal to z1 bar upon z2 bar. So in this pattern, for addition, whole conjugate given, subtraction whole conjugate, subtraction sign, multiplication written, you will get z1 bar into z2 bar, or for division also it is applicable. z1 bar upon z2 bar. Means you can write z1 upon z2 whole bar is equal to z1 bar upon z2 bar, with condition denominator not equal to 0, means z2 not equal to 0. Then some solved questions. First, if z equal to given 1 plus I cube minus 4 plus 3i square plus 7 minus 9i power 4, you have to represent in a plus ib form and also find conjugate and modulus. First, simplify it. Value of I cube, you have to put value of I cube minus I square minus 1, and I power 4. Simplify, and after solving you will get this as minus 2 minus I. Then conjugate z bar, just change the sign of I. Minus I written plus I. it is conjugate. Modulus under root real part means minus 2 square plus coefficient of I means imaginary part square equal to root 5. In this pattern you can find conjugate and modulus. One more example. You have to find the multiplicative inverse of given complex number. Multiplicative inverse means z inverse, which we can write as 1 upon z equal to 1 upon z, z equal to 3 plus 4i upon 3i retained, 1 upon z reciprocal of 3i upon 3 plus 4i. Multiply by conjugate of denominator 3 minus 4i and further simplify. After solving you will get 12 upon 25 plus I into 9 upon 25 and you are getting multiplicative inverse. If any question is given as multiplicative inverse, in this pattern you can solve. Now some questions for practice. You have to find sum and product of complex number 2 plus 3i and its conjugate. The second question, you have to find multiplicative inverse of given complex number. Means first you apply the formula a plus b whole square, simplify and write it in the form of a plus ib. After that find multiplicative inverse. And question number 3, you have to represent it in the form of a plus ib. In this pattern, these 3 questions you have to solve and submit your solution. In this video, we are going to discuss about polar form of a complex number, complex plane, square root of complex number, and cube root of unity. Now first, we have to start about complex plane, or which is also known as Argand plane. In coordinate geometry, in previous classes you have covered, there are two axes, x and y axis, and the plane formed by x and y axis known as xy plane. If you have to plot any point on xy plane, easily you can plot and write coordinates as x comma y. xy represent a unique point on xy plane, where x and y are real numbers. The complex number x plus iy also we can represent on xy plane with the help of x and y, because in x plus iy, x and y are real number. Therefore, complex number also possible to represent on complex plane, like here coordinates of p as xy written. If p xy written, it implies if it is a complex plane, it means it is written as x plus iy. For example, if number 2 minus 3i minus 4 plus 4i or 1 plus 0i we want to represent on complex plane, we will write this as 2 comma minus 3. Minus 4 plus 4i on plane you will write as minus 4 comma 4, and 1 plus 0i write as 1 comma 0. Here minus 4 comma 4, minus 4 represent real part of complex number and 4 is imaginary part of complex number. If minus 4 represent real part of complex number and which is on x-axis or x coordinate, and 4 is y coordinate of the point, therefore x-axis is known as real axis and y-axis is known as imaginary axis. Therefore, if any complex number written x plus iy, this number also we can write as x comma y. If complex number written as x comma y, it implies it is x plus iy. If anywhere written 2 comma 3, 2 comma 3 means 2 plus 3i. R2 is real part of complex number and 3 is the imaginary part of complex number. The plane having complex number assigned to each of its points is called complex plane. All properties of complex plane is same as Cartesian plane. Only difference in case of complex plane, x-axis is known as real axis and y-axis is known as imaginary axis. And if point P given as x comma y, it implies it is written as x plus iy. And this first time concept of complex plane was given by the mathematician Argand, therefore it is also known as Argand plane. Therefore, this plane is known as Argand plane. And the x-axis already we have covered, known as x-axis, real axis, and y-axis means imaginary axis. Therefore, we can write distance of point P from origin OP as under root x square plus y square. Because usually you can apply in triangle OPQ as Pythagoras theorem. And if you apply Pythagoras theorem, easily x square plus y square equal to r square. And here r is mod z. Therefore, OP equal to under root x square plus y square equal to mod z, which be denoted by r. And theta means angle between OP and real x axis or real axis, such that r cos theta equal to x. If theta written, apply formula, the cos theta equal to base upon hypotenuse x upon r. So therefore x equal to r cos theta. Sin theta equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse y upon r. Therefore r sin theta equal to y, where r and theta known as radius vector and vectorial angle of given point P. If we are using x and y for complex number, then coordinates of point P we can write x comma y, and in polar form we can write coordinates of point P as r comma theta. It implies x comma y known as Cartesian coordinates of point P, and polar coordinates of point P we can write as r theta. Therefore, z, which we can write as x plus iy equal to r cos theta plus ir sin theta. Here in place of x, r cos theta, and y means r sin theta. So polar form of complex number x plus y, I equal to r cos theta plus ir sin theta. It is known as polar form of complex number. And x plus iy means Cartesian form of complex number. If any complex number written in terms of x and y, means real and imaginary. Real number x and y means it is known as Cartesian form. If it is written in terms of r and theta, means r cos theta plus ir sin theta, then it is known as polar form of complex number, where x equal to r cos theta and y equal to r sin. Reduction of complex number to polar form. Now your objective, we want to convert complex number into polar form. If complex number we are taking z equal to x plus iy, so we have to convert it in polar form. X plus iy write down as r cos theta plus ir sin theta. Equate real and imaginary part, you will get r cos theta equal to x and r sin theta equal to y. Now we have to find the value of r. and theta. First, to find the value of r, square and add equation first and second. R square cos square theta plus r square sin square theta equal to x square plus y square. Then r square common, remaining part is cos square theta plus sin square theta equal to x square plus y square. Value of cos square theta plus sin square theta is identity 1. Therefore, r square into 1 equal to x square plus y square. R, we can write r square equal to x square plus y square. Taking square root of both sides, you will get r equal to under root x square plus y square. In this process, step first, we are able to find the value of r. Then in next task, we have to find the value of theta. But before that, as r completed here, r means mod of z, and which you completed as under root x square plus y square. Now r cos theta equal to x implies cos theta equal to x upon r equal to x upon r, and value of r is under root x square plus y square. In this pattern, we can find the value of cos theta. Similarly, sin theta equal to y upon r, put the value of r, y upon under root x square plus y square. In this process, we can find the value of cos theta and sin theta. Now, you have to find the value of theta which satisfy both cos theta and sin theta. So there is only one value of theta such that minus pi less than theta less or equal to pi, which satisfy both the equation cos theta and sin theta here. And so therefore, with the help of value of cos theta and sin theta, you have to write the value of theta. After that, some particular numbers I want to write in complex form. If 1 written, 1 we can write as cos 0 plus I sin 0, because value of cos 0 is 1 plus I, and value of sin 0, 0. 1 plus I into 0 means 1. So 1 we can write in complex form as cos 0 plus I sin 0. Minus 1 equal to cos pi plus I sin pi. Value of cos pi is minus 1 plus I sin pi 0. Minus 1 plus I into 0 means minus 1. If I written, I we can write as cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2. Value of cos pi by 2, 0, and sin pi by 2, 1. 0 plus I into 1 means I. And similarly, minus I you can write as cos minus pi by 2 plus I sin minus pi by 2. Cos minus pi by 2 means cos pi by 2, and value of cos pi by 2, 0. Plus I sin minus pi by 2 means minus I sin pi by 2, and value of sin pi by 2, 1. Therefore, it is equal to minus I. Just 4 particular cases I have written. Q1 we can write as cos 0 plus I sin 0. Minus 1 we can write as cos pi plus I sin pi. I you can write as cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2. Or minus I write as cos minus pi by 2 plus I sin minus pi by 2. Remember, whatever value of theta you are writing, it should be greater or equal to minus pi and less or equal to pi. Argument of complex number. Complex number x plus iy can be converted in polar form just by putting x equal to r cos theta and y equal to r sin theta. So that r equal to mod of z equal to under root x square plus y square. Now divide second by first. You will get r sin theta upon r cos theta equal to y upon x. R cancel out here, tan theta equal to y upon x. Here theta is known as argument of complex number z, or it is also known as amplitude of complex number x plus iy, and we can write this theta as theta equal to arg in bracket z, means argument of z, r theta equal to amplitude of z, and the value of theta is greater or equal to minus pi and less or equal to pi is known as principal value of argument of z. Because in trigonometry equations we covered, there are finite values of theta. We can find for the condition tan theta equal to y upon x. But if you write the value of theta between minus pi to pi, and this value of theta is known as principal value of complex number. In this process, if any complex number given, you can find modulus of complex number r and argument of complex number x plus iy. Now some theorems on argument. First theorem: the argument of product of two complex numbers is equal to the sum of their arguments. Means argument of z1 into z2 equal to argument of z1 plus argument of z2. Proof: just take two complex number, z1 equal to r1 cos theta 1 plus I sin theta 1, and z2 equal to r2 cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2. Now find out product z1 into z2. Here theta 1 means argument of z1 and theta 2 argument of z2. So z1 into z2 equal to r1 cos theta 1 plus I sin theta 1 into r2 cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2. r1 r2 multiplied here. Inside the bracket, product, open the bracket. So cos theta 1 cos theta 2 plus I square sin theta 1 sin theta 2. Value of I square is minus 1. Therefore minus sin theta 1 sin theta plus I sin theta 1 into cos theta 2. I taken outside sin theta 1 cos theta 2 plus I cos theta 1 into sin theta 2. I taken outside cos theta 1 sin theta 2. And inside the bracket, just formula cos A cos B minus sin A sin A, means cos A plus B. r1 r2 cos theta 1 plus theta 2 plus I sin theta 1 plus theta 2. Because sin A plus B formula sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. Therefore argument of z1 z2 we can write as theta 1 plus theta 2, and theta 1 means argument of z1 plus argument of z2. In this pattern, first theorem completed. The argument of product of two complex numbers is equal to sum of their arguments. Now, next theorem: the arguments of quotient of two complex numbers is equal to the difference of their arguments. That is, arguments of z1 upon z2 equal to argument of z1 minus argument of z2. Proof of this theorem: let z1 equal to r1 cos theta 1 plus I sin theta 1, and z2 equal to r2 cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2. Here theta 1 represent argument of z1 and theta 2 argument of z2. Then z1 upon z2, put the value of z1 and z2. Then next step, in denominator cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2 written, multiply by numerator and denominator by cos theta 2 minus I sin theta 2. In denominator you can apply formula a plus b into a minus b means a square minus b square, and numerator open the bracket. Next step you will get the value of z1 upon z2 as r1 upon r2, numerator cos theta 1 cos theta 2 plus sin theta 1 sin theta 2 plus I sin theta 1 cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1 sin theta. And denominator cos square theta 2 minus I square sin square theta 2. Value of I square is minus 1, therefore plus sin square theta 2. And then denominator apply formula cos square a plus sin square a equal to 1. So therefore next step you can write r1 upon r2, and numerator cos a cos b plus sin a sin b formula cos a minus b plus I sin a minus b में sin theta 1 minus theta 2 upon 1 equal to r1 upon r2 cos theta 1 minus theta 2 plus I sin theta 1 minus theta 2. Therefore argument of z1 upon z2 we can write as theta 1 minus theta 2. Where put the value of theta 1 theta 2 means argument of z1 minus argument of z2. In this process proof of second theorem completed. Now next important part, the process to find the square root of a complex number. If any complex number given, we have to find the square root, the method which you should follow. If any complex number given, first you note down the complex number z equal to x plus iy, and let a plus I be the square root of x plus iy. Therefore under root x plus iy we can write as a plus ib. Then squaring both sides and open the bracket. X plus iy equal to a square plus I square b square plus 2i. Value of I square is minus 1. Put value of I square is minus 1. Then compare real and imaginary part. Real part is here x, and here a square minus b square. Means you will get a square minus b square equal to x, and imaginary part 2ab equal to y. Now just use formula x plus y whole square equal to x minus y whole square plus 4xy. That's formula. Here a square plus b square whole square we can write as a square minus b square whole square plus 4a square b square. Put the value in RHS. A square minus b square whole square. A square minus b square means x whole square x square plus 4a square b square 2ab y. So 4a square b square equal to y square. Therefore a square plus b square we can write as under root x square plus y square. Equation second. Now solve first and second. Find the value of a and b. Step first, by adding first and second we can find the value of a square. If we add 2a square equal to x plus under root x square plus y square, or a equal to plus minus 1 upon root 2 under root x plus under root x square plus y square. Subtract first from second, you will get value of 2b square, or value of b equal to plus minus 1 upon root 2 under root minus x plus under root x square plus y square. Therefore under root x plus iy equal to a plus ib. Put the value of a plus ib. Put the value of a and b. You will get the value of under root x plus iy. Here plus minus sign is used, and here also plus minus sign is used. Therefore just apply different cases. Here condition you know, the value of y is 2ab and x is under root x square plus y square. Now case first, if y is equal to 2ab is positive, then a and b are the same sign, means both are positive or both are negative. Because if product of two numbers positive, only two cases possible, if both are negative or both are positive. If both positive, then one root you will get here 1 upon root 2 under root x plus under root x square plus y square plus I upon root 2 and under root minus x plus under root x square plus y square. And if both negative, then second root you will get this. Case second, if y means 2ab is negative, it implies any one of a and b negative and second is positive. Or in other words, you can say a and b are opposite sign. In opposite sign, then roots are first with plus sign and second minus, or first minus 1 upon root 2 under root x plus under root x square plus y square, and second with plus sign I upon root 2 into under root minus x plus under root x square plus y square. In this process, if any complex number given, we can find the square root of complex number. Next important topic, cube root of unity. Means if 1 is given and anyone asks find the cube root of 1. Generally all of you know cube root of 1 is 1. But if cube root of 1 required to imply there are 3 values of x you will get. X cube equal to 1 means x cube minus 1 equal to 0 we can write. And x cube minus 1 if factorize it, a cube minus b cube apply formula. A minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. A minus b means x minus 1 into x square plus ab means x into 1x plus b square means 1 square. If first factor equal to 0, then one value of x you will get as 1. If second factor means x square plus x plus 1 equal to 0, then using quadratic formula you can find the value of x. Quadratic formula means minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Here value of a is coefficient of x square 1, b coefficient of x 1, and c is also 1. Put the value of a b c here. You will get minus 1 plus minus I root 3 upon 2. It implies the cube root of 1 we are getting as 1 root, cube root is 1, second cube root minus 1 plus I root 3 upon 2 taking positive sign, and third cube root of 1 is minus 1 minus I root 3 upon 2. In up to class 10th you have covered the cube root of 1 is 1 because there is only one real root. Therefore, you have covered one real root. The remaining two are complex root. Whenever anyone asks cube root of 1, so there are 3 cube root of 1, 1 real and 2 complex roots. We denote one complex cube root of 1 is by omega sign, and other complex root of 1 is by omega square. Second complex root we are taking as omega square. It implies easily you can observe if these two complex roots are square of each other. If any one root you will take omega, the second you will get as omega square. You can verify it also. Some properties of cube root of 1. First property I discussed, one of cube roots of unity is real and other two are complex number such that both are conjugate of each other. Conjugate of this complex number is second and conjugate of second is first. Because you know conjugate of a plus ib is a minus ib. Then conjugate of a minus ib is a plus ib. Second property of cube root of 1. Each complex cube root of unity is square of each other. That is, if we are taking omega equal to minus 1 plus I root 3 upon 2, then omega square will be minus 1 minus I root 3 upon 2. You can verify it. Or if you are taking omega equal to minus 1 minus I root 3 upon 2, then omega square you will get minus 1 plus I root 3 upon 2. It implies complex cube roots are square of each other. This is the second property. Now third property, omega cube equal to 1. Easily you can verify it. Omega cube means omega into omega square. value of omega minus 1 plus I root 3 upon 2 and omega square minus 1 plus I root 3 upon 2 multiply 1 plus 3 upon 4 equal to 1. Value of omega cube is 1. And next and fourth property of cube root, sum of cube roots of unity is 0. That is 1 plus omega square equal to 0. You can also verify or prove. That's very easy. Sum of cube roots of unity equal to 1 plus omega square. Put the value 1 plus value of omega will be considered as minus 1 plus I root 3 upon 2. Then omega square will be minus 1 minus I root 3 upon 2. Taking LCM and simplify, here easily you will get plus I root 3 minus I root 3 cancel out. 2 minus 2 will cancel out. 0 upon 2 equal to 0. Therefore 1 plus omega square equal to 0. Now if any quadratic equation given, you have to find the values of x. I have to solve. Since all of you know standard form is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 with condition a not equal to 0. Value of a is not equal to 0 and abc are any real number. Then solution we can find using quadratic formula. And first time this quadratic formula was given by Sridharacharya. Therefore it is also known as Sridharacharya formula, which is x equal to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4c upon 2a. Up to class 10th and previous classes you have covered, if b square minus 4ac less than 0, there is no real root. Now here you have to solve. No real root means you will get here complex roots. Now some solve questions. Z equal to 1 minus I root 3 given. You have to convert it in polar form and also find argument and modulus. Solution 1 minus I root 3 write as r cos theta plus IR sin theta. Equate both sides. You will get r cos theta equal to 1 and IR sin theta equal to I root 3, or you can say r sin theta equal to minus root 3. Square and add them. You will get the value of r. Value of r square equal to 4 and r equal to 2. Here what is r? R means modulus of complex number. Therefore modulus of complex number z is given by r equal to mod of z equal to 2. Now divide equation second by first. We get r sin theta upon r cos theta equal to minus root 3 upon 1. R tan theta equal to minus root 3 equal to minus, and root 3 is the value of tan. Pi by 3 are tan 60. And tan is negative in fourth quadrant, therefore tan minus theta equal to minus tan theta, means we can write this as tan minus pi by 3. Therefore theta equal to minus pi by 3. And theta means argument of complex number. Therefore theta equal to argument of z equal to minus pi by 3. In this process you are getting the value of r equal to 2 and theta equal to minus pi by 3. Therefore we can write complex number in polar form as z equal to 1 minus I root 3 equal to 2 cos minus pi by 3 plus I sin minus pi by 3. Or further simplify, 2 cos minus theta equal to cos theta means cos pi by 3 and sin minus theta equal to minus sin theta means minus I sin pi by 3. Means polar form of complex number is 2 into cos pi by 3 minus I sin pi by 3. Now some questions for practice. In first question you have to express z equal to 1 minus 1 upon I in polar form. In second question you have to solve this quadratic equation. For solving it, easy process, first to multiply by root 3 whole equation, after that apply Sridharacharya formula. And third question, you have to find the argument of complex number -1 -i. So these three questions you have to solve and complete the answer.